I had in my head all day today that this is the 6th episode of these Thanksgiving videos, and then I kind of questioned, is it really been 6 years? And the answer is yes, it has been. But hello my peeps, and welcome back to the channel for the longest running series I have ever done, the Thanksgiving Leftover Hacks Part 6. That means I've been doing these before the peppermint videos, before any pumpkin spice videos, so these have a lot to live up to this year. Each and every year, I go back to this ancient BuzzFeed article that now has warnings on it that it hasn't been reread by current editors. The Thanksgiving leftover ideas that aren't sandwiches, and pick out a few, except we've almost done them all. This year, I'm picking out just one of the remaining recipes I have not done, the Cranberry Yogurt Icepops. And then combining that with Binging with Babish's mashed potato waffles, Joshua Weissman's Tom Kha Gai, and then a little creation by yours truly, the ultimate Thanksgiving leftover Crunchwrap. You know, just to cap off the theme of this year, since for some reason 2021 was Crunchwrap mania. Leave a comment right now with which recipe you think is gonna come out the best today, and let's get right into this one. If you couldn't tell, I made sure to pick recipes that cover all the main components of a typical Thanksgiving leftover meal. You've got the yogurt ice pops to utilize the cranberry sauce, you've got the waffles to use up all those mashed potatoes, Joshua's Tom Kha Gai soup or Tom Kha Turkey to use up the turkey, and then the Crunchwrap to use anything and everything that you want to stuff in there. And let's start off nice and easy with Tasty's frozen yogurt pops. You will need some real maple syrup and some Greek non-fat yogurt, as well as whatever kind of cranberry sauce you got left over. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was slightly grossed out when I first read this, but it occurred to me that I eat frozen yogurt all the time. Maybe not in ice pop form and cranberry flavored, but still, it should be fine. You can imagine my disappointment when I learned that I have to use actual real maple syrup instead of the artificial garbage that I love for some reason. But this is as easy as blending up your ingredients, sticking it in these ice pop molds, probably from 2003. I guess some good comes out of your parents hoarding pointless crap from your childhood. And I actually made this 2 days in advance. I wanted to let these freeze as solidly as possible, and that didn't really matter because they didn't want to cooperate anyway. I just went for it with that first one. I'm thinking that was probably my problem. With the second one, I ran it under some warm water for a minute. I was very careful, still nothing. But as they say, third time lucky, right? So I was very careful with this third one. I tried to squeeze it out, use plenty of water, and still no. I don't know if it's the density of this mixture or these ice pop molds just suck, but I was able to get one out eventually. Doesn't look the prettiest, but it'll taste the same, so let's give it a shot. What a great start. You know what? I take that back. This actually is a pretty good start. It tastes really good. I like the consistency, although it's not as smooth as a normal frozen yogurt. You got some of the little ice chunks in there like you would get from a normal popsicle. I imagine if you like cranberry and you like frozen yogurt, make this, you would like it. I don't know if it needs to be in popsicle form, necessarily. It seems like a little bit more work than is necessary. Just freeze it in a bowl and eat it with a spoon. But this is a pretty good start, so let's keep it moving. For the next course, we're going to be trying out Joshua Weissman's Turkey Tom Kha Gai, or a spicy and sour Thai coconut and chicken soup. And typically, since I film these videos before Thanksgiving and I don't have any leftovers, I just cheat and use a rotisserie chicken. But I think it's time to put on my big boy pants and just make a turkey so that these can be as accurate as possible. I'm reusing a recipe from a certain channel that will not be named because honestly it was good. I like when you segment the turkey rather than cook it whole. There's less of a chance of any of the meat drying out. You can really thoroughly season this all. But it is a lot of work, to be honest. You know, you gotta break it down, you gotta make up your dry rub, you gotta rub it all in there, let it sit in the fridge uncovered for at least a day or two, let it sit out at room temperature for hours, bake it for hours. It's a lot, but we got it done and we got some leftover turkey. In addition to that, the rest of the ingredients we're gonna need for this soup is some fish sauce and chili oil, evaporated milk and kaffir lime leaves, turkey stock and galangal root, some fresh cilantro and hanchameji mushrooms, a stalk of lemongrass and some dried shiitake mushrooms, fresh shallots, brown sugar, a lime, and some fresh Thai chilies. Now, unfortunately, just to get this out of the way right off the bat, this is another recipe that I have no prior experience with either cooking or eating. So it's gonna be pretty hard to be able to tell you if this is good and authentic or not. I know most of the ingredients are, shout out to the local Asian market by my house, but unfortunately the biggest glaring substitution I had to make was the coconut milk. It is one of my many annoying allergies. Apparently the closest substitution for this recipe is a full-fat evaporated milk. If anybody else out there has had to sub something in and found a better option, please let me know for next time. But I got all my aromatics chopped up and steeped in that turkey stock, strained it out and added everything else in, the milk, the mushrooms. And I'll be very upfront with you guys. I don't know how I'm feeling about the wafts of this fish sauce that I'm getting. I double checked on Instagram to make sure it's supposed to smell like rotten old gym socks. And apparently it is, so I just powered through and I'm hoping it will not taste anything like the smell I'm experiencing. I tossed in the chopped up turkey. I finished this with some fresh cilantro, a little chili oil. And this does look pretty interesting and tasty, so let's give it a shot. You know what, the taste, it's not too bad. I got a little bit of the chili oil. I think that helped it along. I just wish I didn't have a nose. I'm really trying to stay sensitive here because I know a lot of people like this and I'm sure it's just like a disconnect or one of those ingredients is bad. It smells like a gym bag or like really bad cat litter. I'm sorry, I always try to be honest. It's honestly hard to explain. And just so you know, I'm not trying to be funny. When I put the turkey in at the end and let that heat up a little bit and it was making a lot of steam, my family was not too fond of it either. I might just need somebody to make me a real authentic version of this before I can judge this, because I don't think you're supposed to get the little milk solid around the outside rim either. We might have to leave this one inconclusive for now, but honestly I gotta get it out of here. Okay, next on the agenda, we've got Binging with Babish's mashed potato and sweet potato waffles. You will need some cheddar cheese, an egg, and mashed potatoes for the first one, and then some sweet potatoes, another egg, and some flour for the second version. This is a little hack Instagram food trend that always pops up on my feed on Instagram or TikTok, and I've always wanted to try it, but I've always felt too lazy to dirty my waffle iron and I end up just microwaving them. But today is the day. I'm assuming we're gonna use about a cup and a half of each one of the potato mixes with a couple ounces of the cheddar cheese and an egg for this first version. On second thought, maybe that was a little bit too much of everything because this was a goddamn mess. It did eventually set up and I was able to pry it out of there after about half of the mixture oozed out of the sides. I felt like Dr. Pimple Popper cleaning up the side of that thing. And then with the next option, I mixed it up with a few tablespoons of flour, a second egg, and I was very sparse while loading up the second one. I can't imagine there's gonna be many flavor surprises here. It's gonna taste exactly as you expect, unless the egg or the flour massively throws things off. I'm guessing that it won't though, so I plated up my 2 waffles, a nice little drizzle of some leftover gravy, and it is time to try recipe number 3. This freaking thing, it's got some heft to it. I feel like I'm doing curls. The sweet potato one is amazing, as expected. Wow, the mashed potato one is even better. When that cheese hits the hot waffle iron and kind of gets all caramelized and crispy on the edge, that takes it to a whole nother level. I would go as far as saying that is even better than normal mashed potatoes. I do feel like this preparation makes them eat even heavier and like more dense. I'm through this little bit and I'm already kind of satisfied. I feel like if I ate even half of a waffle, I would be exploding. But these are winners for sure. Make one of them and split it with somebody. Or not. It's up to you. Lastly, but certainly not least today, is an original recipe, an idea I got from a bunch of you on Instagram. How about a Thanksgiving leftover crunch wrap using extra chicken, gravy, mashed potatoes, except fuse it with Joshua's roasted chicken crunch wrap that I obsess over, and turn the potatoes into the aligo, which are the cheesiest, most delicious mashed potatoes I became obsessed with a couple years ago. You will need some leftover mashed potatoes and salt salt and pepper, some iceberg lettuce and a tostada, fresh cilantro and leftover turkey, a giant tortilla and sour cream, an orange, lots of Swiss cheese, and some more cheddar cheese. Very much like the infamous Thanksgiving leftover sandwich that everybody and their mother makes the day after, this is fully customizable. You can shove basically whatever you want in here. Actually, now that I think about it, is this a sandwich? It's fillings and condiments in between two floury substances. Is a tortilla bread? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Let's not get into all this. What's most important right now is making sure every one of these individual components is fully seasoned and delicious. I brought the potatoes back to life by adding in a little bit more butter and cream and then absolutely loading them with the cheese and salt and pepper. I shredded up some more cheddar that is going to get melted on top of our turkey, and then I whipped up a quick little herb salad with the cilantro, iceberg, and the orange zest. Again, none of these parts are imperative. Add what you want. If you don't have orange zest, if you don't like cilantro because you're weird and it tastes like soap to you, don't add it. I've recently been banned from using any cilantro in meals that I cook for the family since my mom has that issue. Bunch of weirdos if you ask me. I warmed up the tortilla on my stainless steel pan. I got all my components assembled and ready to go. And then one by one, absolutely loaded this thing with as much as I thought it could fit. At this point, at least I have a backup career at Taco Bell waiting for me with the amount of Crunchwraps I've made and how decently I've gotten at wrapping them. And this one is no exception. It toasted beautifully, the cross-section looks even better, and it is time to give the final recipe of the 6th installment of the Thanksgiving leftover hacks a shot. Shut it down, guys. Call the news, call your family, call your grandmas. This is unreal. I don't even need normal Thanksgiving foods. Just make this, and I would gladly eat it. Look at the friggin' warm aligot just oozing out of there. That's super fresh cilantro and herb salad on top. The two different cheeses, the sour cream and gravy, the crunch in there. This is very good. This whole year has just been me exposing myself as a Crunchwrap fanboy and coming up with as many reasons as possible to make more, but genuinely, they're so good. Best recipe of the day by far. Shoutouts to Joshua, who clearly influenced this. Shoutouts to anybody on Instagram who suggested I do a Crunchwrap. And yeah, go out of your way to make this, and you will not be upset. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave me a big old like. I hope you had a wonderful holiday yesterday if you celebrated it. If not, we are about to see some major changes behind me, and we can all get involved with that. Let me know down in the comments what recipes you would like to see me try next. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you do not already. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you right back here next time. Peace.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my 18. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision. We could make it.
Ew, what the fuck?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Right?
What is that?
I told him, that's what I've been laughing at, because it's so bad, I'm gagging. Dude, it's bad. I don't think this is right. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. What do you want me to do? I need to eat it.